People in rural areas are oftentimes marginalized and left out in most development initiatives owing to lack of information and the necessary know-how on accessing funds to develop themselves, let alone implement community projects in their localities. The case has been the same for the government-implemented Constituency Development Fund, CDF, since its inception in 1995. Though it was low in scope, rural communities saw little or nothing of it. The situation continued even after government enhanced the CDF in 2021. Despite having clearly spelled out guidelines on how to access the fund, most rural communities remained disoriented. However, World Vision Zambia's Citizen Voice and Action concept is turning the pages in some rural communities of Southern Province. Through this model, a number of advocacy groups have been formed and trained in social accountability and advocacy.
Citizen Voice and Action, which is a premier social accountability methodology that World Vision uses to empower communities. It's worked quite well in the two area programs of Mbeza and Mochila in Namola district. Basically, in the CVA, we are looking at empowering these communities on how they can monitor service delivery standards and continue to conduct social audits in their local institutions so that they can engage various government departments starting from the local, district and sub-national levels, in this case in the Southern Province.
This capacity building has translated into increased uptake of CDF in most communities. Nachimbema and Namola advocacy groups under the Mbeza Mochila area programs in Namola district have been instrumental in assisting clubs and cooperatives successfully apply for CDF funding.
After we were trained on how to access the CDF fund and application forms, we came into our communities and started sensitizing them on how they can access the forms and apply for CDF fund. After being trained, these clubs I have mentioned, they were able to apply for CDF and they were successful. Especially this club, which is called Chikamba Women's Club. After being trained, they applied, they were given money, then they bought kettles from that fund that they got from the CDF.
And the advocacy group is to sensitize people to know what they're supposed to do. If there is money at the district, for especially these CDF funds, we need to educate them how to go about them so that they can access that money in the right way so that they don't fail. Because if they are not educated properly, they will fail at the end of the day. But we are training them, we educate them how to go, the process, how to go about it. So at this group, they've done everything possible so that they have achieved those animals. So we are very happy as a group that our community are able now to access funds from CDF.
Nachumba Dairy Cooperative and Makotolo Widows Club of Mbeza Chiefdom, now into livestock production, provide evidence of this support. In Mujila Chiefdom, Chikamba, Twanjaliga and Kansesa women clubs can now boast of running hammer mills and other livelihood ventures thanks to the CDF application guidelines made clear to them.
Unamwana wabakatupa mali asiya kufote pini twakawala chigayo eji chitugwashidde twajana mali au kachiri abana beso kutola kujigoro
nitwakatalu hivo twakalembela ku CDF tulembele ku CDF mukuba ajolwe bakatutambula bamane kututambula twakachikonya kuyo kubweza mali bakatupa 40 pini 40 pini twakawale ngombe hili 6.
The advocacy that World Vision is doing has gone a step further, even to translate the Constituency Development Fund guidelines in the local language. In this case, we're talking about in Tonga. So now we have CDF guidelines that are available in Tonga that we are distributing to the trained citizen voice and action groups. So this is to localize this policy document so that people can understand it in their first language, in this case Tonga, and create more awareness to people that may not really understand it in English as it were. So yes, the problem that was there of people not accessing CDF as a result of the information barrier, that we looked into it, and we have seen that people now, with the information they have, more and more are able to apply for these funds. And as we may have seen, more projects are being actualized as a result of this knowledge.
Community health posts have also been implemented. Nachumba Health Post in Mbeza and Namola Health Post in Mojila Chiefdom, funded under CDF, are both a brainchild of Nachimbema and Namola advocacy groups.
This is a wonderful to us. The government have put it in about 647,000 kwacha for this structure. We are expecting about 3,200 households to benefit this health facility.
To reduce absenteeism, because at times there are some illness whereby a child would feel bad, and when you give him or her medication, would feel better there and then, meaning the following day that child would be present at school.
Clinic is about 13 kilometers away. So bana bagari gukwa munzira. Bibagaji bona kutete anu mapenzaya. Kutobaji badera ingaraje yananga aramana. Kamboga advocacy. So about vision of advocacy ijisiji no jiri gokuno kwa nkomba. Jagabarumba maningi iwi yondo bagareta.
In the education sector, Wizu Community School of Mbeza Chiefdom has a unique story. After 20 years of operating in shelters, the advocacy group successfully lobbied for this modern infrastructure.
For this school, it has some challenges from the time it started, that is 2002, up to when the Citizen Voice of Action came in Mbeza. This CVA, they managed to apply for CDF funds to build this 1x2 classroom block. Learners were learning from those temporary shelters outside. There was no community structure, and the attendance of learners were poor. The enrollment was low. Now we thank the Citizen Voice of Action for their work they are doing in Mbeza.
Wamu 2002 twagali kunyina aguyira bana bali kutwira mutusheo tatu amutusamu wamana kuyenderanya chikoro yesungu chibere no chikoro chili musimusi chabana momba jamana rojijisi idamu ilinga mainza ayika kuyina mwana bwa wanaurandwa kwa kuchikoro kuna kamboma is 7 kilometers away from here kuna rutanda bolongo 6 kilometers kuyako nyuko wao kana uti bunji bwa bana chijindi uko yaukarabu yangande kabata kwenye kuza kuchikoro.
This school is equally a beneficiary.
We were depending on the classroom blocks and space that was just meant for the school that runs up to grade 7. We thank the CVA that came to our aid through the lobbying of this infrastructure where I am right now, a 1x2.
The advocacy groups under the Moyo Hamaundu area programs are also on the ground. Here, significant strides have been achieved in the education sector.
Muri nkamu ya CVA twakagonzya ikumaniha 1x3 classroom ili walya. Mukuli bobo bibona ibawo division bakatutondeha. Menda ngaya tulanywa pali abana balateka gabotu mukuli bobo tulalumba CDF ikutupa imali manji akukonya kwamba kuti tiyungiye kuzwampo twakalerera ikuyinka kumbere mukumanisha ibloku iya yakuyira kwa bana.
At Kauba Primary School, teachers and learners attest to the positive impact the advocacy groups has had on the school.
Core business of the school is to teach. And if we are to start also looking for people to work out our challenges, it could have compromised the quality of teaching because we could have spent more time seeking for help. But CVA came to our head.
With the help of the group called CVA of Kauba community, they advocated for the completion of the 1x3 classroom group. They robbed help from World Vision, who helped us with the building materials. At least the classroom are completed and we are using them.
Twakalumba ukabungaga itwa kuti CVA kakakonya kwamba ola World Vision usika inomenda akaola kuchikolo amagarden twakataleka kulima bantu bakaba basungu kusika kuchikolo kambo kamenda akaola.
With the influence of the advocacy group here, the community is also building teachers' houses to respond to the housing needs of the members of staff here.
Manda teachers yakai shortage muri ba CVA tokaita ba community kuti tsange ma standard kuti no mano tichisachikoro arongaye amatichers oti chisachikoro arongaye amano tiyagide ali 4.
To address the long distances learners cover to get to school, 3 community schools have been opened as subsidiaries of Kauba Primary School.
Ibana bari kumuga kunjira higoro kuchitauti mwana kachikomena kuti kwakachikonya kuyinka kukaoba ali mwa kuyochoka. Ino twa ulumba mutabe wa CVA mukuti imwana nga ujira 5 years ulakunya kwenda ikuyinka ku community school.
Chompa Primary School has also received its share of this development. A modern classroom block fitted with solar panels stands out. The advocacy group here spearheaded CDF application processes.
Wakataliga kuyabulombera master houses otatu. Twalombera jigoro 1x3 classroom block. Yaro yagaba approved, yaro yamana iligonya.
This new infrastructure, furnished with desks, has improved the learning and teaching environment at the school.
It comes with a lot of benefits. It is solar powered, which means pupils are able to do computer lessons effectively. We have the desks inside, which were provided through the activities of the CVA.
We thank the government for giving us the 1x3 classroom group. This class has solar powers. We are able to study at night.
This is not all. An integrated learning center is also under construction after the Chompa CVA successfully lobbied for support from World Vision. A deep tank is another key infrastructure Chompa Advocacy Group had an input into its establishment.
Twalumba government mutu vya kuyakatuhira. Igurira byose bakatuhira kamba uti ngombe yakalebire gukwa mazuba inda kunzo. So dibiniyaga niyaga money.
For World Vision Zambia development facilitators in the 2 area programs, the numerous CDF projects the rural communities of Mbeza, Mojila, Moyo and Hamawundu have received signify the importance of empowering communities in identifying their own development needs.
What we are seeing as an organization, we've seen these groups after building their capacity. They are now in the community, they are raising awareness on the community on how they can access these services, and they are also raising awareness to the communities and different groupings, especially that now we have even CDF in place. So you'd find that different groups, they have been empowered, and we are seeing things that they've gone to dialogue like health posts, structures maybe in schools being improved. And all this is coming out as a result of them having this knowledge and cascading the same knowledge now to the wider community. And the community now are able to actually demand for this service to be improved.
Coming in of CDF and the way the community working groups are advocating for these services, we've seen that much of the infrastructure, such as the deep tank that we're able to see here, has been advocated through CVA, and CDF has actually funded some of these projects.
Nyawa Area Program, though young in operation, already has a functional advocacy group.
So tuchakatugwasya kuti kuli ma standards ano ati ani ayandikana mane avule avonse wakaziva kuti anu tatunasikanzi a standard yandikana muchisi.
The advocacy skills received is a great resource in prioritizing development activities for the new program area.
They have managed to monitor the standards in the schools, the standards also in terms of healthy facilities, and they're identifying the gaps which they can use, and they're leveraging on in terms of when it comes to writing projects for CDF. So actually we are very excited with what the government did. The issue of CDF and CVA, I think for us it's an opportunity to be able to tap into that resource which the government has provided.
Program officers are also incorporating the CVA in their activities.
CVA group is helping us to be able to identify the gaps, and with those gaps we are using the information that is gathered to be able to engage even with the government and other partners who can come in and be able to work together with them concerning issues of water supply as well as sanitation.
The CVA is very cardinal in helping us advocate for laws so that we are able to protect the well-being of a child. These are child protection committees. They have been helping us sensitizing the community on the CP issues.
World Vision Zambia Citizen Voice and Action Coordinator Ephraim Lungu is happy to see the CVA model transforming communities.
Even at a time that World Vision will no longer have its footprint in these areas, but we are leaving behind, people, that are empowered with knowledge, are able to conduct social audits, are able to conduct civic education, and enlighten, their local communities on the entitlements, that citizens need to enjoy through the policy pronunciations in different sections.
As government actualizes the implementation of the decentralization policy through the enhanced CDF, they need to build sustainable communities that can fully participate, not only in identifying their own development needs, but also engaging policymakers for service provision remains paramount.